Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Eve, this is Everyday Artist, and welcome. And I do want to thank all of my new subscribers. Thank you for joining me and hope you enjoy my content. Mostly I talk about cross stitch, but I also talk about quilting and sewing and my Etsy shop and sometimes painting. Theoretically, I'm an artist, hence the name Everyday Artist. By the way, I should explain that. I've been painting since I was a very, very little girl, and worked as a graphic designer for many years, but also sold original art, various places. And then I had a job working with developmentally disabled adults teaching art. And I've always wanted to learn new things. I've worked in 2 different craft stores, learning different things there. And at that job, I also learned various things because I always wanted to teach them something new. Candle making and working with wooden pallets and soap making and sewing and, of course, acrylic painting. I don't work with oils, mostly because I am too impatient to wait for them to dry, and I rarely have enough space to leave them unmolested while they dry. I don't have anything against oil. I heard a professional artist who just, sells art. He doesn't do anything else. He said that if the masters were alive today, they would use acrylics. I believe it. Artists generally go with what media works for them, and so who knows? A car door slammed across the street, so this is Rogue, my naughty dog. Say hi. Say hi. She likes to sit here behind me whenever I'm sitting on a couch and sit forward a little bit, she wants to be behind me. But she also likes it because there's a window right here and she can bark at the neighbors. Anyway, so I chose the name Everyday Artist because I do some type of art every day and it is never necessarily the same thing. But I do consider myself an artist with acrylic art, even though I haven't actually painted in a while. Because I've been interested in doing other things, and that's okay. And you need to be quiet. Okay, so I have a number of things today, but I'm going to go ahead and start with the Etsy shop update so I can just get it out of the way. Okay? Remember last week I showed you that I had finished this bag and this Notions pouch. Well, I did find a charm for it, a little yellow flower, which I think looks really good with this bag. And it's not on my Etsy shop yet. My dad has a whole bunch of appointments here at the house in a little while. So if you see me trying to rush, this is in between different appointments. But I will put this up, and then I have sorry, I thought I had things organized here, so I do not. I finished this bag with bees and oranges. So if you're from Florida or Arizona, this is, they need the bees to pollinate the flowers to grow the oranges. So I think this is perfect. And this fabric, I just kept walking by it going, I don't need any fabric, but I just loved it. And this is a heavier fabric. I generally don't necessarily go for those heavier fabrics, but sometimes you want a bag that has that it's not canvas, it's not that heavy, but it is heavier. So if you like a bag with a little bit more heaviness in the fabric, this is great. And I had some bee charms that I was going to put on it, but I didn't really care for them. And actually, I have someone who has offered to let me look through her charms. She thinks she probably has a whole bunch of perfect charms for it, but I was at Michael's, and so I went and looked at their charms. I found a few things. I'm not sure, but pretty sure I'm going to put these little bee guys on there. Aren't they cute? And then on the zippers. And then this will be in the Etsy shop. And this one, now by the way, the bee is my favorite. I might have to make myself one with those bees. I don't like real bees, but I love bees. They're so pretty. Pretty? I don't know. But this year I seem to be really into bees. My favorite is flamingos, but lately I really like bees. Anyway, I digress. This is another one with this beautiful florals. And I'm not quite sure what I'm going to put on the zipper pulls for this one. But I found this, like I said, I have somebody I might go through their charms and see. But I found these dragonflies, which I thought would be really pretty with that. This would be their head and their dragonfly body. I don't know, but I might use these to make a scissor fob. I might do both. I don't know, maybe. But it should be up in the Etsy shop soon. And then the last, I had the little bag here. I must have dropped it when I was bringing it over here. Sigh. I'm not going to worry about it. So has all these cute little butterflies, and the big bag is going to have this little butterfly charm on it. And then the smaller one is going to have one of these. Oops, that's the other side. Probably either this one, because it looks like the butterflies in the bag, kind of, or this one because it looks like the butterfly that's on the bigger bag. But it'll have one of those on the smaller bag. There it is, the smaller bag. Look at that butterfly right there in the middle. And I think that would look really cute, don't you think? Anyway, so those will be in the Etsy shop soon. Not today. Well, I may be able to put the charms on them while my dad is doing his... He has therapists that come to the house, which is fantastic because we don't have to try to get him in the car and take him someplace, and and he's doing fantastic. He went to church yesterday. I was so happy to have my dad with me there at church, and he had a good day. He had a good few days, and so we hope to keep that up. But I really like the fact that the therapists come here, especially. It is so hot. Now, today, it's only 102. It's supposed to get up to 102. It's not quite there yet because it's still not AM exactly, but earlier in the day. And it's more humid than Phoenix usually is. And Saturday... It's only 105. Okay, so it's not like blistering heat like we get sometimes. But the humidity was so high that it was unbearable. and I I went and did a grocery pickup because I didn't have a lot of time that day, and and I was just bringing it in. It wasn't even that many groceries. I was sopping wet by the time I got done. Because the humidity was so high, and it was already, of course, 105. Maybe it wasn't quite that high yet. So the heat is just been bad. We had one day last week, I think, that matched our hottest on record or was just below, something like that. My sister was reading something about that. And I'm used to the heat, and we stay, we know how to live in the heat, just like y'all, where you live where it snows, deep snow, you know how to live in the snow. But you gotta you gotta plan around it. So I'm really happy that the therapists come here. So I don't know how much I'll be able to get done while they're here, but hoping I can get all of those bags, charms on them, get them photographed and up on the Etsy shop before the end of the day. Unless I have to go look for another charm for one or two. But yeah. So let's dive into, I'm going to make a quilted bag for myself. I think I mentioned that I was going to do that. I'm not sure how much I showed you, or if I showed you. Maybe I just talked about it and showed you. That's all my stitching that just fell. This big bag, which I have been putting stuff in. This one, I bought this fabric. This is a fabric line called Saguaro, and it's got these, let me see if I can get it to show. My finger is near a dot that has like a little metallic sheen to it. I don't know if you can really see that. Anyway, this is what I'm using for the inside of the bag. I have the handles done. And these are quite long. And I'm using a pattern from Missouri Star Quilt Company that Misty Doan showed on Missouri Star Live, and if I can find the link, I will link it, but probably want to wait until I actually finish the bag so you can see what I'm doing. But it is a huge bag, and so this is the inside, and the handles, and this lovely fabric. Sorry, that didn't adhere. Let me put it this way. This lovely fabric is like the saguaro flowers. The other is to look like saguaro flowers, and this also has little highlights of metallic. You probably can't see it, but it does. And it's 20 by 20, so that's going to be a pretty huge bag, and it has Bosal, iron-on Bosal. That's a foam, so easy to sew through, so easy. I love it. And it's stiff, so the bag is going to stand up, which is really cool. But I'm going to quilt. What the heck is going on here? I'm going to quilt across it this way, I think, not straight up and down, but this way. But it's so big, I'm like gonna have to plan. I'm gonna have to fix that wrinkle. I don't like it, but I'm gonna have to plan to see how I'm gonna get that into my machine. I do not have a large throat machine, just have a brother, but if I could afford larger throats or whatever, I would. But even if I had that, I wouldn't have anywhere to put it. So let's get started with stitching, shall we? Yeah, I also have a little bit of haul other than what I just showed you, but just a very little bit. So, let me talk about WIPGO first. Now, one of my WIPGO calls that I started working on, I was supposed to do 10 days on this cross-stitching for fun spring bookmarks. And I know this doesn't look like 10 days worth of work, but I'm just dividing it up between CrossStitch Camp and berryseasonal and appointments and stuff. So I did do 10 days. I actually did more like 12, 15. I don't know. I did a lot of days on it. I was hoping I'd get it done, but I didn't. And I had to put it aside because my other WIPGO project, which is also cross-stitching for fun. This is Mary Snowmen, and I have completed Mary Gryffindor and Mary Slytherin, and I am now working on Mary Ravenclaw. This is a new start, and I'm supposed to work on it 5 days. This is at 3 days. I'm not going to get it done in 5 days. I'm but this is 3 days in, and this is where it's going to say Mary, and yes, I travel threads. And so I've gotten, a little far. This is a little bird that he's holding. A little bird. And I started the word Mary up here. Now this is a combination between Krynic and DMC, so that's why it looked so weird when you saw it. And then he has a little belt. So does this one. I feel like these two were different designer than these two. I mean, I don't know if it's a group of people at Cross Stitching for Fun. Maybe. I don't know. These are Ukrainian designer, and this is a free pattern available in their Facebook group. And I love it. So I'm plugging away at getting all 4 done. I started them in May of last year during Mania, and I did 1.5. And then it might have also been when I did the spring bookmark, the first one. I don't remember. And then in January, I finished the Mary Slytherin. And I had already put the others, this one. I just put it once, and because I'm not going to put it as Christmas tree ornaments or something. I want to have them all done, and then I'll decide how to finish them. And so, yeah. And I started FFOing the patterns that I showed you last week, but they're not finished FFOing. They're just the around the stitching, and so I decided I wasn't going to show them to you. But my next video should be coming out on 4th of July. I'll probably film it on Sunday instead and just have it upload on 4th of July, maybe. But you'll see them then, because I will finish them and maybe even display them. Who knows? So that is my WIPGO. Now I have a couple of days of June left, and I should be able to get both of those goals ticked off, which is really cool because I'm not really doing really good with WIPGO. But that's because I put quilting on it, and that takes a long time, But I will keep plugging away at the quilting stuff. I just have, yeah. It's really hot in here. I don't, you probably can't tell, but I'm like really sweating. And it's only 12:20. So I'm going to move on to my berry sal. I'm working on this one, and I was like, what did I do with it? I know it was here. And this is my last one of the summertime berries. It'll be a while before I finish this one, but I'm going to try. And this is my progress so far. It's not horrible. I have SUM and a couple of swirlies and a heart. But there's not a whole lot more on that. It has the rest of the word summer, and good old is 1/1 right here. And then, you know, 2 more lines. I'm hoping that, okay, it has a lot more. I'm hoping to get this done soon. Because I want to start on the autumn berries and, you know, get a chance to really get more done. I might, with the autumn berries, put this in this bag later, I might, with the autumn berries, FFO them as I finish them, because I should have done that with these summer berries. Here it is, the end of June, and I don't have any of them FFO'd. You know, Helen D showed on some of her finishes that her mom had crocheted little tiny doilies to put on the top of one of her Christmas berries. And I have a Christmas berry done that I can FFO. I would love to get some thread and crochet a top for it, because I couldn't figure out how I wanted to finish it. I know I didn't like the finishing that was on the pattern. So I may do that. Maybe not yet, because I don't know that I have the felt for the top. Felted wool, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. And then Cross-Stitch Camp. I have been working on hands-on design, the summer basket. Now, for this summer, I will not be finishing all 3 of these, but I will eventually get them all done. But I am working on this one. I just have so many projects going on, but I want to have them all done. I love them. And if the next season's berries are this cute, I may have to get all the seasons. Yeah. I think I'm going to work on this one next. Maybe this one. I like them all. I like the fact that they look like quilts, but these look to me very patriotic, which is why I picked them as a patriotic thing. But I left the colors as is. Now they look pretty on this, and her white really stands out on that color. And you know I was having trouble with the white. Well, I am almost done. I have white left to put in, and I am about half done with the white, so there is not a lot of white left to put in. I've got to do the border, the other half of the border here, and I have some stars to put in and a couple of these squares, and it'll be done. So in a few days till the end of June, I just want to get it done before the end of June, and I am very happy with the way these colors look on this spa. This is, I found this color at Hobby Lobby. And I just love it. Love it, love it, love it. So, yeah. I was just looking at it while I was finishing up that second red, and I was just grinning because I really love reds and teals, and not blood reds, and I don't know how to explain it. Teal and red look really good together. Let me put it that way. And you saw my bag. It's teal, you know. This other bag, I really like it. And yeah. So that is that, and that is all of my WIPs. But June 1st, I need to start for the summer Cross Stitch Camp June, which is stitch something that can be finished in something other than a frame. And I am going to be doing this berry right here. I like this too, but I think I'm just going to do this because I'm still working on my other berries, and who knows what's going to be called for WIPGO. And I want to finish these bags, and I want to work on my quilts. So I think I'll work on the smaller project. So this one right here. And I don't know what color I want to stitch the berry on. I have all the threads. I've got all of those threads. There's not that many. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 threads. I have all of them. Thinking about this one, or this one. This one is high in the running. Or maybe even this one. I think this one's a little dark, but it might look good. It's on a very light fabric, and this might look really cute, you know? But since it's a berry, I don't know how those squares will go. I thought this would look really cute with the pillow. So I left the sounds on my phone because of the appointments coming up, so that it would remind me of what time it is. So I don't know. Thoughts? What do you think? You have a few days to tell me. I don't know. I'm kind of leaning toward this one. And this is the color that I did my Christmas berries on. So it's going to be one of those. And yeah. And then I have a tiny bit of haul other than what I just showed you. When I was looking through those charms over there, trying to flip these around, I don't have any idea of what I'm gonna do with these bugs, but here are some bugs. They're kind of cool, huh? Yeah. And then I couldn't resist this frog. Now I don't need a frog, but isn't he cute? Michael's. I love the charms at Michael's. I buy charms at Joann's and Michael's, Amazon, you know, Hobby Lobby. But I like these charm-alongs that have this little lobster claw clasp. Because when I put those on my bags, I can just go. I don't have to. Normally I attach them with split rings, and I have a special plier to open the split ring, but it doesn't make it any easier. So I went to the attic because I thought I needed, my sister wanted to go to the attic, and I thought I needed one thread because I was indicating that I didn't have it. And that was this one, putty, for Stitch All the Things. I already have this. So I am going to delete from Thread Stash all of my fancy floss. And because, I mean, it's not cheap. I'm going to delete all of my fancy floss, and then I'm going to put it all back in. And those patterns that call for fancy floss, if they indicate that I don't have it and I know I do, I'm going to delete how it's put in there for calling for it so that it'll recognize the color. Because when I very first started using Thread Stash, they didn't have, I think they had weeks, but they didn't have something. Maybe they didn't have weeks. I don't know. And I had to type it in the other. And so then when they loaded it in, it was different. And I think that's part of the problem. But I don't know why it indicated that I didn't have, and this has happened like 3 or 4 times, and I have doubles of the thread, and I want to use the money to buy different threads, you know. So yeah, I'm going to have to do that. It is a big chore, and I don't want to do it, but it must be done so that I know what threads I have. That's why I use Thread Stash in the first place. So while I was at the attic buying just one thread, you know, can't go buy just one thread, I found this. It is a noteworthy needle, thimble something, the price tag is over it. I was going to buy another Erica Michaels pattern, but I saw this. I can't get the price tag off to see what that says. I haven't opened it yet. It's a series. Thimble Treasures series. I saw the other ones there. But I like that B. And it's supposed to have everything in it. That the box is all, you know, a little cardboard thing all folded up. I don't know, something like that. It says, eco-friendly bamboo, snaps together easily, no glue required. So I could theoretically do this for June Cross Stitch Camp, July. But I think, I don't even know if it has the threads. No, but I think I have them all. I gotta open it and see what's in there. I think it's just the box. Anyway. Maybe I'll do that for August Cross Stitch Camp, because August is stitch something you've never done. I've never done that. Then I bought this. This came out during this year's needlework market. And I looked at it several times and I'm like, I don't need that. And it's got a whole bunch of tiny patterns. But it's also got recipes, right? And I looked at it and I put it down, and I looked at it and I put it down, and I looked at it and I put it down. And the patterns are very, 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 very little. I I can't show you the patterns because none of them have a picture. But, you know, Lottie Dawes, My Soul is Fed with Needle and Thread, you know. I think that's a very common one that from people stitch. But some of these recipes look really good. And when we were younger, my mom was a member of the WMU in New Mexico, and they decided to put together a recipe book, and it was called Angel Food, the book, or something like that. It had a whole bunch of different recipes in it, and some of those recipes were really good. And so, you know, berry cheesecake. Now, I've made berry cheesecake before, but, you know, why not? Maple cream cookies, autumn pumpkin pie. This one here, Tide potato stick candy. I've made stuff like this before, and I like cooking, but I really like cooking different things. Grasshopper pie. I have not had grasshopper pie in so long, and I love it. Lately I've been making Kool-Aid pies. Something I saw on the Hillbilly Kitchen YouTube channel. And very easy, very inexpensive, and my dad loves them. So, calories for my dad. Unfortunately, it's calories for me too. Orange mandarin cake sounds delicious. And then, you know, bonus, I have a few small patterns, and some of these patterns are really tiny. There's a little pattern here that says there's nothing like mom's cooking, you know. Just stuff like that. Anyway, I saw that when people were talking about market, and I thought, yeah, that's cute. And I'd looked at it several times since at the attic, and I decided to go ahead and get it. So I'll let you know if I make anything from here. But I'm talking about the cross stitch patterns, not that. But I think if you need a small for something, or you just want to, you know, stitch a little something. Beer bread. What the heck is beer bread? Cheesy breakfast boats. I don't know. So that is my last bit of haul. So, yeah. Anyway, I appreciate y'all listening to me go on and on about recipes. And thank you again to my new subscribers, and I appreciate y'all, you guys that keep coming back, and I really love your comments, and some have been extremely helpful. So if you have any comments about which fabric of those I should use, you know, I may need to go get a different one. I don't know. I looked at the fabrics when I was at the attic, and I just decided to just try to stick with something I had. So, yeah. Anyway, I gotta go and get ready for therapists to come to the house. Happy stitching, everybody, and you guys have a great, great week. And be careful heading up to 4th of July. It's one of the more dangerous holidays that we have. Be safe, be careful. Bye.